A year ago, I published a video called If You Decide to Love Someone, and right now it has 2 million views. I think the video, If You Decide to Love Someone, brought a lot of people together because love is something that connects us all as human beings, and to be able to discuss it openly and honestly and vulnerably, I think was something that a lot of people could connect to. And I think this is an example of a community. Hi, my name is Miles Carter, and I'm here to teach you about building a community.
We take top industry experts and have them teach their legendary skills in 7 minutes. This is Masterclass.
Hi, I'm Miles Carter, and I'm a writer, composer, and content creator with about 300,000 subscribers on YouTube currently. I'm also the founder of Made to Feel Apparel and also the head of my nonprofit that I'm establishing called More Heart. I understand a community to be any collective of people with a mutual understanding or a concept at their core. I'm passionate about building a community because I realized the community around my content was coming together around love and vulnerability and just the opportunity to express themselves and grow as human beings. I think it's important that content creators care about building a community because when you're creating online, it can be very easy to start seeing people as numbers, and it can be easy to get lost in that current. So when you understand that these are human beings, when you're able to engage with the community and see the human side of it, I think it allows you to be a lot more considerate of the content that you put out, the information and the way in which you use your influence, knowing that it impacts people on a daily basis. I think you actually find more success when you're able to engage with a community. Recently, I've been publishing content on Vocal Media to further extend the reach of my content. Vocal for me is a platform that allows people to be vulnerable, and I think that for me, Vocal provides a dynamic in which I can create in that way. I think the 3 most important aspects of building a community for me are honesty, vulnerability, and consistency. Let's dive into honesty. Before you can be honest with an audience, I think you have to first be able to be honest with yourself. So for me, I spend time with myself trying to understand my own thoughts and my own feelings and my own life experience. And journaling is really important for that, to put your thoughts into words. And I think from there, from having an understanding for myself, I'm better able to accurately convey it to an audience. So number 2, vulnerability. I think when it comes to vulnerability, although we have different experiences on the surface, we deal with similar emotions at the core. So when you can be vulnerable with yourself and share that honesty, you'll find that people connect to that even more because we realize the similarities that we actually have as human beings experiencing life together. So if you've noticed, honesty and vulnerability kind of go hand in hand, and I think the best way to dive into that for yourself is to engage in internal dialogue. That means asking yourself questions. For example, when we get upset, we tend to exist primarily in our emotions. But if you take the time to step back and consider, why am I upset? Where did this come from? How can I express this in a way that is productive? I think that's when you begin to actually start to understand your emotions rather than simply existing in them. And from there, you're able to better explain and convey what it is that you're dealing with on the inside to somebody outside of you. So honesty and vulnerability correlate directly to consistency because I believe that the content that you create should always be a reflection of your real life experiences. So if you're consistent in questioning yourself and diving into your own thoughts and emotions, then you'll be consistent in expressing them and sharing them for an audience. Honesty doesn't always mean being able to monologue your thoughts and your emotions. Honesty can simply be you embodying and embracing yourself. If you're comical, be comical. If you're laid back, be laid back, but be realistic about who you are when you present your content. I don't think it should feel like you have to put on a facade. And I think it goes the other way too, because when you start creating more vulnerable content, some people can get caught in this cycle of feeling like they always have to be super deep or super in touch. But I think in just being honest and sharing what is going on with you is always beneficial. I think it carries you closer to creating more meaningful and engaging content. For me, my creative process first starts with journaling. I think writing helps me to articulate my ideas better. So I first have to put down my raw thoughts and emotions. And from there, I can refine it and make it into something that is palatable or presentable for content. I think vocal provides something that's really important in that the algorithm isn't based on numbers. And so I think that puts people in a position where they can focus more on the honesty and vulnerability of what they're sharing, as opposed to the statistics and the growth of what it is that they're putting out. The title of the piece I published on Vocal is called If You Decide to Love Someone, A Deeper Dive into Love. So I wanted people to have clearer and more elaborated understanding of the message I was trying to get across in regards to love. Then I'll go into the process of creating. I usually just use my phone to record a voice note. I'll find a song that I like and I'll put it under under my monologue, and then I might add some videos from my camera roll. It's a pretty simple process for the most part. And then by the end of the day, when I edit all that together, I'll usually share it as soon as I'm done. I think starting a brand Made to Feel impacted my community because it gave people something physical to hold on to. I think the entire brand Made to Feel reflects the overall message that I try to express through my content, in highlighting the fact that we're human beings and we're not machines, and we're allowed to feel and we're allowed to experience, and it's not something to be ashamed of. I think our community is stronger because we now have a unified message and identity through the product. It can be difficult being vulnerable to an online audience. I think that when we put our confidence in the words or the reassurance of others, then we also give them the power to control how we feel when they don't agree with what we've done. But I think that in establishing your own reasoning within yourself, if you know that you're being vulnerable and you're being honest and you're being true, and that is all that matters, then I think it's a lot easier to not be as affected by the negative comments. I would say that our community has given me reassurance more than anything else that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the way that I think or in the ways that I feel, and I'm not alone in my pursuit of trying to figure out life and how to find my place in it. And I think it's very reassuring to engage this path and engage this journey with people beside you, all walking and growing in the same step as you are, and helping each other out along the way. If you're interested in engaging a community today, I would encourage you to try out Vocal and engage with one of the 34 communities that they have already. You can find my Vocal page in the description below. This has been Miles Carter with How to Build a Community. Thank you.